Okay, let's try this again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Today is October 2nd. I am going to work on this page in Kirby Rosanis Worlds Within Worlds. Let me get that in frame. I love his books. He has got to be one of my top 3 coloring book artists, probably number 1. So, I had already filmed the beginning of this, and we'll do it again. So for the month of October, we are starting off with my ghost coffee mug from last year's Halloween. This year, my hubby got me a jack-o'-lantern. And I haven't gotten to use it yet. But the other day, he came home and he told me to close my eyes, put out my hand, which I am so not good at the surprise thing. It makes me nervous. But he brought me these socks. The Moon Glows in the Dark. These are freaking adorable. We have a Golden Retriever Great Pyrenees mix, who's 2 years old, and that is Summer Rain right there. This is, in my opinion, the hat is pushing her ears down, so she is our little 5.5-month-old Chow Chow. Winter Snow. I know I did not intentionally name them seasonally. Summer came named Summer. I added Rain because I hate summer here. Winter Snow is named for Chrissy. Crystalline Winter is her registered name, so she got Winter. And Snow is from my very first Eskimo, Snowy, and the little girl that you knew named Fluffers, whose real name was Snowflake. So these are my little girls, two of my baby girls. And then I have a 2-year-old crazy but sweet American Eskimo. So most of our puppies are Eskimos. I have a thing for them. It's the way it is. So for those of you who are returning, thank you. Welcome back. Your comments on the last video were so encouraging for me. I can't even tell you. It's probably why I'm here this morning. So, yeah. It's not so easy for me sometimes. But we're giving it a shot. And for those of you who are new, the puppies are the reason this is Art and Diamonds with Eskies. People call me Eskies or Mama Eskies. Stick with it. I don't even bother with my real name. And that's probably a good safety measure. So for this, I have pulled 2 pencils from our Castle Arts Soft Touch line, which is my favorite. Castle Arts are my favorite coloring book pencils. One of them is for the body of the tortoise, which is Terra Verde. It's a very green-gray. It's gorgeous. And for the pieces of wood looking things in the shell, we're going with Burnt Umber from the Soft Touch line. So that's what we're going to do today, is work on him. This is Caran d'Ache Neo Colored 2. I just put down a little layer of Prussian blue to give me some background to work from, so I know where my colors are going and whether they're working or not. This will get darker. But right now the paper is still cool from putting down that layer, so it means it's not completely dry. I do not recommend doing this in this book without putting down a layer of watercolor ground first, which I will do for the next one. And then you let it dry overnight. The reason is this drinks the pigment in, and then it leaves these uneven marks, which I'm just going to turn into clouds. But that is my advice. Some clear watercolor ground. I own the Daniel Smith brand. That's me. But I'm told by my friend Julie that there are other brands out there that are very good. So, no, I did not finish all the way out because that's going to be a much darker color. That is one of my Tombow Dual Brush pens, if the color matches up. If not, then I will go into my watercolor tubes, which are not good quality, but they'll work in a coloring book, and find an Indanthryn blue, which is what I think this needs to be altered to on the outer edges. If you're new here, sorry about the long explanation, but if I'm going to do coloring with you, I want you to know what I'm doing. But you will hear barking. It's inevitable in my home. There are 6 puppies, 1 Mama Eskies, 1 Papa Eskies. Daddy is sleeping right now because he works at night, and it's about 5:30 in the morning. As a matter of fact, one of them got a little exuberant, wanting more petting, and she got my arm with her claws this morning. And that's okay. She did not mean to hurt. She just gets so excited. And that's our Golden Pyrenees mix. because the people who had her before really neglected her, really mistreated her, and we can tell by how she behaves. She is as sweet as the day is long, as calm as Chrissy is, but somebody was not nice to her. And I'm just glad that she ended up with us. As a matter of fact, I think, yep, all the babies are asleep. I can't even introduce you to Winter right now. One of these days, I'll set up the camera, and sadly, you'll have to see me, so you can see this huge 5.5-month-old baby. I already have gotten my spooky season nails going, so we have the black fading into blue, so it's a little creepy. I don't do blue nails. This is a new thing for me, and I kind of like it. These were courtesy of Ashley from Glitter and Shine Nails. They're colored street strips, and they're gorgeous. So, and they are a little glittery. I don't know if you can tell. They are a little bit glittery, but not over glittery. So it's kind of a cool mix. So, everybody grab your coffee or your tea or whatever you want to drink that's kind of warm, because I know most of you have cool areas for autumn. Here, it's still running over 100 degrees, which really sucks. But this week, we're late in the week due to drop into the 90s. That sounds horrible, and it is, because when I was a kid, this was sweater weather. But inside the house, it's 69 degrees, as always. So, sometimes I have a sweater on. Sorry, needed a big gulp of that coffee. Normally, I would go in and finish my background first, because I have learned that once I start on the focal point, my background goes, bleh, I don't have any energy for you. But today, for the sake of the video, we're going to start here. So I see that this guy has some tree branches growing out of his head. And so we'll grab the burnt umber. And we're going to go in and just kind of play a bit. Get it down. This will cover up any mistakes that I made, which probably are plentiful, with the Prussian blue. And then what I will do is come in here with a fine liner and get these, well, no, I'll do it in pencil. It's coming out nicely that way. Get these fine tips of the branches that are there. But I don't want to do too much of that right now, because there's going to be more watercolor going on. So, and wax resists that, and these are a wax pencil. How are you all doing? I hope everybody is happy and feeling good. I am, as usual, quite happy, but the pain has not let up from the ankle and the new sciatica problem. Can't believe I developed that on top of everything else. Good Lord Almighty. There's nothing you can't handle with his help. So, there we are. I just will keep that in mind and go about it that way. And know that just keep doing the right things, and I should end up okay. The sciatica is starting to let up a bit, which is nice. But the ankle is still going, you managed to break me yet again, so I'm going to be a brat. So I have to change positions quite a lot. And I'm working in bed because I'm not allowed out of my bed. My doctor put me on super strict bed rest because I think she's afraid I'll break something else. I'm kind of afraid I'll break something else. Truly. A little concerned about that. But we'll just go about it with a good mood. That's all we can do. So I just want to get these kind of based in here. And then I'll go in and darken up areas that I want darker at the very end of this. Because of the watercolor background, I need it to show enough contrast. I almost went in with my Sonnet watercolors, which I love the Sonnets. I know a lot of people say they are student grade, but I found out they're actually not. They're the lower end of the artist grade from White Nights, which have always been kind of my dream watercolor. Until recently, with the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, I'm not buying any Russian products. It's just my way of supporting, because you know, Natalia Simpson, she's Ukrainian and her son was pulled into a war effort, the one that lives over there. And Alina, who is Coloring with Alina here on YouTube, I just love her work, and she's Ukrainian, and I'm trying to support the people that I believe are innocent in this effort. If you disagree with me, that's okay. You can disagree with me. I have no problem with that. I don't get nasty. I'm not a political person on my channel. I don't discuss anything that could hurt people's feelings. And I ask you not to hurt other people. Just go into things with as kind a mood as you can possibly do. Any mean comments will be removed from my channel. I don't allow that. This is a channel where we support and love one another. And that's just what it needs to be. For my sanity. That's just me. So, in contrast, let me show you this Terra Verde. This is the only line of pencils I have with this color. Even their gold does not have this. It has the Terra Verde Deep, which both sets have. The one from this, the Soft Touch, is not blue. It's very, very dark. But the one from the gold range has more blue to it. So I'm kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool. We get two colors, same name. It just means that the pigment was ground differently. Probably milled a little more fine. That type of thing. And that happens a lot in any kind of paint, pencils, whatever. How they process and mill the pigment makes the difference in what shade you will get, even though it's the exact same pigment number or mix. This is the stuff I'm learning lately. More about watercolor. And it's because I think watercolor is going to be a huge benefit to the backgrounds of my original artwork. And that's really what I'm trying to do, is focus a lot on getting back into drawing as soon as I can sit up enough to do it. The sitting up is hard because it causes the blood flow down to the leg, and that makes it swell up, and yeah, that's loads of fun. Yes, I do have compression sleeves. No, I'm not very good about using them. So, there's that. That's me. I'm so good at teaching everybody else medically what they need to do. For those of you who don't know, I'm a retired military nurse. I'm also a retired vocalist. So, you know, there you go. And no, I don't sing anymore. There are videos back on my channel where you can hear me sing. You can even look for live streams where I was singing with my daughter, who is just gorgeous, and she has an amazing voice. But our voices are very different, so they blend together so pretty. I just haven't sung in so long. It's like any muscle. You don't use it, you're going to lose it. That's the way it works. I'm just kind of putting a little color in. This is not going to be a long video, you guys, because I'm sore. I need to be laying down resting, and I'm misbehaving right now. So, I'm kind of sitting up in bed. And when Janine sees this, my practitioner, she's going to kick my behind. And I'm just going to look at her and go, well, you know me. That's me. Oh, there's Princess talking. That's our 2-year-old Esky. You kind of get to know all their voices over time. You really do. And even though there's so many of them and just so few of us, we're all one pack. And you just kind of get to know their sounds and chirps versus alert barks, and yeah, it's kind of fun. It's like your kids, you know. And I even with the puppies, every once in a while I go through multiple names to get to the right puppy name, just like I did my kids. It would be Sarah. You know, it was that kind of deal. So the grandbabies are doing great. The children are doing well. In general, Not completely, but, you know, without going into a bunch of detail, they're okay. They're healthy. They're alive. That's pretty much it. Although the oldest is not healthy. Her diabetes is so out of control. But listening is not her strong suit at all. That's just her. Stubborn. Very, very, very stubborn. I don't know what shadow colors I'm going to go in with here. At this point, what I'm doing is using more layers to get darker areas. But I would imagine a nice warm gray would do the trick. Yes, you can kind of smash these into the page. They're creamy on every page I've ever worked with them on, except Amazon paper, which nothing is nice on Amazon paper, in my opinion. I love the images. Hate the paper. In like my Selena Fennick books. I love Selena Fennick. I love her work. It's beautiful. I cannot stand that horrible paper. And I am one of those that I would happily save up and pay extra to get her books on a better paper, because her images, her artwork is so beautiful, and I will feature some on the channel. At this point, what I'm going to do is just make a copy. I can't use my printer to print because I'm kind of dingy and don't know how to get the doggone thing to do what I want it to by Bluetooth. And I don't have a computer. So, I used to have a laptop that worked, but it just kind of, the software is too old and it's not going to keep up with the new tech. Like I said, sorry folks, there is barking. And that's her in the living room. What's the matter, princess? What's the matter? What, pretty girl? What are you doing? What? Really? Tell me. She's my talkative one. She really is. She's my talkative puppy. Some Eskies love to bark. Some, like Chrissy, are very quiet. It's like anybody else. But Eskimos are known to be prone to the barky barks. That's just who they are. But they make amazing service animals and just really great companions. They're actually bred for human companionship, which is kind of cool. But mine just know they're mommy's babies, and they work and take care of mommy. That's the whole deal with them. So you can see I'm leaving some areas without color. That's because I'm going to go in with a very light brown in those areas, like a raw umber. Since we're working with a burnt umber, I usually won't stick to colors like that, but in this set they go very, very, very well together. So let's see how that's going to look, because I can always erase it. Is that it? Nope. That's my Sioux color pencil. It's one of those things today. I have some pencils out for another image I'm working on, is why this is a little complicated today. And if I shift anything wrong, the camera will come crashing down. I'm just not in that mood. Not today. And apparently it's just not letting me see it. There it is. Okay. Sorry, I was doing some word searches yesterday and my mechanical pencil was in the way. Alright, so this is the raw umber. Let's see how that's going to work, because like I said, I can always use an eraser. That works fine. Nope, this works really well with it, so we can give it some variables since it has trees growing out of its head. Let's see how that works. Sorry folks, I tend to get kind of quiet when I'm working on something. It's just me. Alrighty. No, I like that. I really rather like that. Now, when I finish things, they go up on Instagram which from my channel, or my Instagram is Fine Art with Eskies, because I do post my actual drawings there as well. But it's just coloring and drawing. That's all that goes up on that. More layers. I like to work in layers. I just think it's more effective, personally. And I think it's easier on the paper. So I work in really light layers, and yet these are very, very pigmented pencils. You can order these from the website for Castle Arts or Amazon. And my advice is check both, because you get sale prices, and otherwise the prices vary. Do you want them in a case? Do you want them in a tin? I buy them in the case because it's less expensive than going out and purchasing a case for them. But then what I do is buy them in the tin, like I did these. I have a tin of them because you can't buy them open stock, sadly. Okay, sorry about that. My husband came in the room, and so I had to pause. One of those things. It's just kind of one of those mornings, I guess. I think this little pokey part needs to be this burnt umber. Just because I think it should be. So, well, here we go. Chirpy puppy. So, I was going to do this in just the greens and browns with the cool blue background, but I think I'm going to do this house in kind of gray, spooky haunted house vibe, which I think was the intention by Kirby with this page. I think it's the only Halloweenish page we have from him. At least in the several years that I've been buying his books. I cannot wait for the one coming out next year. He is doing a dark fairy tales book. I love Grimm's fairy tales. Love them. The images of them. The original stories are really creepy. They are not Disneyfied. They're not Disneyfied at all. They're just super creepy, scary tales of warnings in life, I guess, is what the intent was back then. So, I like the images. I'm not in the least little bit into reading them ever again, because they creep me out. Which is no fun. Okay. While I was off camera, Spooky decided to be a mean, grumpy person toward one of my girls. So he's in timeout right now. Which means he's in our bathroom / big walk-in closet until he has a chance to settle down, and then he comes back out. So my husband did the sweetest thing the other day. Besides the socks, that was a couple days before then. Like I said, I am stuck in this bed, and I have no idea for how long. It feels like forever, at least so far. I'm supposed to have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, but I don't know how we're supposed to do that if I'm not supposed to be out of the bed. So, I have to check if that's, can be moved to a televisit. I know she wants blood work, and I know I need to go do that. It's just super hard to walk around right now. So I'm putting in the darkest points so that I can then go over them more easily, but it's still the same color. I have not brought in something to create a shadow color as of yet. We'll see how this works out. Because with a lot of pencils, you can go in and get, basically multiple shades and tones from it. Tones being the lighter parts, shades being the darker. So yep, now you know how I'm doing. I'm stuck in bed, bored to tears. Can't color really quickly because I can only sit on my left side for so long, or lay on it, because that's the side that's having the problems. Of course it is. And being right-handed, I can't work laying on my right side, because I can't move my hand around enough to get to those areas, which is a bit annoying. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can back off on my pencil and make that easier. Now, I can tell you, speed coloring videos bore me to tears. If you guys want some of those, let me know. Because then I don't have to talk as much. And I'm kind of boring and don't have a lot of interesting things to say. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't used to be, but it's not like I'm seeing the world right now. I go to the store once a week, and by the time I get home, I'm in pain, and I don't want to move. And so I may not go anywhere this week, so I can just kind of finish healing up. God willing. So I don't want him to be super even, and normally that's my whole thing, is get all of my stuff really perfect and even. But, you know, tortoises, they're not like that. They're usually more brown skinned, but this one is not. He is green-gray with a brown shell, because it's made of what looks like little pieces of wood, which makes sense with the tree branches growing out of his head and the haunted house and trees growing on his back. I have not decided what color to make this ground. I'm kind of using very neutral tones at this point, but I don't know. I may go with like a Sedona red soil. That's a really specific red, and it's super beautiful. And you see it not only in Sedona, but up at Window Rock on the Navajo Reservation. Which, by the way, I don't know if any of you watch Randonautica videos. I love them, because it lets me see different places, and of course I love spooky things. That's just me. And some of them can be kind of creepy and spooky. So, I am seeing a lot of talk about skinwalkers. And they're in areas where skinwalkers don't exist. And what they're describing happening and the sounds we're hearing are Wendigo. And I'm like, okay, Wendigo do live in Canada because there are Algonquin peoples up there. But skinwalkers are Navajo. And they're like, oh, it's the spirit of the skinwalker. It's the evil demon. No. They're humans, guys. They're humans. They are humans that have evil intents and have basically sold their souls. But they're still human. They change form to animals only if they have the pelt of that animal to allow them to change into it. People think they can change at random. No, they can't. They have to be wearing the pelt of the animal they wish to change into. And the rest of the time, they're human. But the only way to kill them, which is the only way to get them off of you, because when a skinwalker connects with you, it is because they wish to do you harm. Now, can you spot one and have it not be the intention? Yep. But if it seems like they're targeting you, you're kind of marked for negative things, and sometimes even death. It's really weird. But this is what the Navajo believe in. Well, a very long time ago, back in the 90s, I was driving in front of the Window Rock Reservation on the highway there at night, and I saw one. Anything that is a gargantuan wolf and doesn't look quite right and is running at over 60 miles per hour next to my car, that's not really a wolf, let me tell you. Now, people say don't say the word skinwalker because it calls them to you, and I used to think that was true. It's not. It's that you do not wish to say their name in Navajo. That calls them to you. You don't want to do that. But you know, up in Canada where I'm seeing a lot of these videos and they're saying it's skinwalkers, and I'm going, no, it's not a skinwalker. No, you've got the wrong description for a skinwalker. One of the young men who does this, and I say young men, he's like 36 years old, about to have his first baby. Well, his wife is. And we're all excited, is a channel called Exploring with Brad. I absolutely love this kid. His videos are cool. He's a very, very nice young man. And he's being put through a lot because there's a cult messing with him that worships the moon. Okay. You do you, leave people alone, but no, they're messing with him, and that's not cool. And I thought it was kind of made up until one of the videos I watched, and I went, he's not acting. That's fear. That is genuine fear. And so I kind of changed my opinion of what he's going through.
Hey, honey.
Oops, hold on, folks. Okay, so for all of you that briefly heard my husband's voice, he's in here right now. Say hi, sweetie.
Hi, sweetie.
He's a goof. We've been married forever.
I'm not a goof.
You are so a goof. Thank you, sweetie. I even showed them my socks and my ghost mug.
I'm a goof.
Anyway, I know a lot of you knew that we had some problems, but thankfully we are even better than ever. He's so good to me. He is so good to me. He knows I'm stuck in this bed. And what I started to tell you earlier, and I got off track, he brought me home an entire bag full of wraps and a bag of salad, pre-made salads. So, and he knows that I need to eat healthy, especially being stuck in bed. I can't move around. I can't expend much in the way of calories, so I don't eat a lot. But he brought me the most delicious wraps with oven-roasted turkeys and chicken, because he knows that I really can't have the pork, and they don't make beef wraps, and I can't imagine that tasting all that great anyway. So he goes out of his way to be sweet and to think of what's best for me versus what will I actually eat. Because I'm not a picky eater, but I am really, really conscious of needing to be healthier. Because I have all these things my body's trying to heal and deal with right now. So I try to be pretty conscious of it. But yeah, a whole bag of yummy wraps and a bag of salads. Awesome husband.
Your husband did not even get any coffee out of that last pot.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry, sweetie.
No, you have that gallon jug you drink out of.
Kind of, yeah. Days like...
Okay, half gallon.
Usually I'll drink most of a pot of coffee and make sure he has a cup. Today I wasn't out there to be conscious of it. So apparently I'm drinking the entire pot this morning.
Are you on video or...
Yes, we are recording.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, these are my friends online.
Did not mean to interrupt.
Please say hi.
Hi.
They are really nice people who, a lot of them are like me with the chronic pain issues and concerns. He's in here playing with our little girl, Princess. She's up on the bed and she's rolling and batting at him and they're playing. It's cute. And then Winter, she just smacked him in the face.
Wow. Huh?
That's her talking to Daddy. I told you, inevitably, there is barking on my channel. It's just my life surrounds my puppies. Oh, she's sitting up doing pretty paws. She's on her butt doing this with her paws. It's so freaking cute. And there's my crazy Chris. Oh, and Winter.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to pause you so I can take you off here and show you the babies. Okay, so here we go. This is our Princess, our 2-year-old Esky. That is our 5.5-month-old Winter Snow. Look at the size of her. She's huge, but so pretty. And there's our Crazy, who you all know and love. So these are 3 of our little girls. They're crazy. You know, Love Bug. Excuse my floor. One of the babies tore up a bunch of paper. And I can't exactly get up to fix it. It sucks. But I think we're about done for the morning, folks. Here's where we got to. We got his head done. The background's in. And I'll continue to work on him throughout today. Just because if I don't do something, I'll lose my mind. as always, you guys, I wish you well. I pray for you. I wish you all the best. And I love you all dearly. And I will talk to you again next time.
Oh, hey, here's the rest of your pot of coffee.
Stinker. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.